Good morning. Welcome to the roundup of 2024 for Running Commentary. I'm going to take you on a quick journey showing you the important details of each of the 17 runs that I did this year and showing you a little teaser video clip of each one. And we covered England and Scotland and Wales, sadly not Ireland this year. I filmed this last weekend, and if it shows one thing, it's how quickly the weather can change. Today it's 12 degrees and sunny. Last weekend, very different. Let me stop talking and let's get straight into the video. Good morning. 8 o'clock in the morning, Saturday the 7th of December. Storm Dara is blowing in and I'm getting some practice in wind and rain, and I'm running easy at the moment, but heart rate's surprisingly high because it's like running uphill. If you run trails in the UK, you're going to have to run in rain and wind. Now, you don't have to like it, but you mustn't be afraid of it, and it really helps if you've had some practice. So the year started off in January with Storm the Fort, which is a 10k at night on a promontory jutting out into the Bristol Channel, and that taught me how to get used to wind and rain and how to film in the dark. Weston-super-Mare look lovely. This is why I run. Stupid challenges against yourself with views that nobody else would see today apart from us loons. Bloody marvellous. At this part of my run, I'm going to run that way, which is now into the wind. I don't know if the sound will make any difference, but you can see I'm relatively composed right now. Less so now. Here we go then. So I didn't run at all in February, so I made up for it in March. Started March with 10 miles on my own in West Sussex. Then the big run up on the Downs before going up to Derbyshire for the Lady Bower 11 miler on my own. Thank you. I say racehorse training very popular around here. In fact, the very famous Gold Cup winner Desert Orchid was trained on Whixbury Downs. The Derwent flows down this valley, and the River Ashop flows down here. There's a village called Ashopton just there, and it's completely submerged by this reservoir. Well, that was March. What came next? April to May. Well, back up to Yorkshire for a run in Malton before heading up to Scotland for the Balmoral 15, then the big way round in Winchester down south, followed by the Great Manchester Run half marathon. We're now just on the river into Norton. Come with me on a 7-mile jog and we'll find out about the river, the railway, racehorses, Charles Dickens, and the place where my dad grew up. I'm imagining these fences are, again, deer proof to keep the animals away from the river, the dangerous areas. Just magnificent, isn't it? Look at that. And now away up the hill again. So yeah, I ploughed these fields, 350 acres back in 1985. And then of course we get to summer. I remember the heady warm days of summer. Well, it started warm, but my wettest, longest run of the year pretty much happened in July. Here's my main summer runs. June to July was Cheddar Gorge, 15 miles, followed by the amazing Snowdon Run up Erwythfa, and finished off with the Rodent Wriggle, a long distance walkers association event in Suffolk. We're not even at halfway and this run has had a little bit of absolutely everything. Flat, uphill, downhill, rocks, sand, and now peat bogs. Amazing. It's just amazing, the difference. It feels 5 degrees warmer, it's sunny, it's beautiful. It's still not warm, but you look at this, that cauldron of steam coming up there. The distant sound of the A14, much closer sound of the skylarks overhead, and just beautiful countryside all around. Isn't this the right way to spend your Saturday morning? Just lovely. Let me tell you about August and September. Let's see what runs I did then. August to September was a Blackpool 10k on my own, followed by the Muntjac 15 in Essex, then did Royston Runners Harvest Trail here at home, and then back north to the Humber Bridge Half Marathon on the Yorkshire-Lincolnshire borders. Then there were birdies of a different kind as we got onto Blackpool Park Golf Course. I shouldn't have been on there really, there was a footpath the other side of these trees. There's also a river and actually Blackpool Zoo. so you wouldn't know it, but that is the remains of a 12th century mansion, demolished in the 1600s, and there's Tudor and medieval earthworks and landscaping, and underneath all those trees and shrubs and bushes and scrub, it's still there. Amazing. You can see the monument there next to it. That is a 14th century foot of a stone cross monument. Thank you, Marshall. Thank you. Yeah, 14th century monument, and it was found in a pond not far from here, and they popped it back on the village green, so nice. You don't know how suspension bridges work. These things here are anchors, and that's a piece of string. That's like your clothesline. And on that clothesline, they have hung a 2.2 kilometre bridge. And all these ropes go up and down. They're your clothes pegs holding this rope onto the clothesline. And because of the distance it is, the weight of the line and how heavy it is, the clothesline sags in the middle. And that's a suspension bridge. And then they pop these towers in that act like a clothes prop to hold it up in the middle. And obviously the higher the tower, the bigger the span, but also the smarter the engineering needs to be to stop the bridge breaking in the middle. We're now at the high, I hope you can hear me. We're now at the highest point of the run, so the wind's at its strongest. We're 4.5 miles in at 7. For the last 2 miles are going to be with the wind behind me, hopefully. That's how I planned it anyway. I'm using a little wind protector on the GoPro, which is keeping the worst of the weather off. Let me just take it off, see if it makes a difference. Hopefully you can hear the wind now. Let me put it back on. There we go, that's 5 quid's worth of sponge foam. Makes a huge difference. Right, let's crack on, shall we? I'll say one thing for a long run in the rain, it's cleaned the shoes up beautifully. Soaked through, but clean. Anyway, well, I just sweat up this hill. Let me take you through the 2 runs that I've already done in October and November. And finally, the end of the year, October to December, Endurance Life North York Moors 13 miler, then the Maverick Oxfordshire last weekend. And now we're out onto the open farmland. Just look at that. Isn't it lovely? You just come out from a uphill mud bath into this. There aren't many places I'd rather be than out doing this kind of thing in a place like this. Fantastic. Right, stop talking, get running, thank you. I don't think anybody's got any significant strength in their legs in this group. The weather now should be worse, if anything, according to the forecasters, but the difference with having the wind behind you and a little bit of shelter is just amazing. Completely different trail running experience. And when you're planning a run, you've got to consider all those things. But with the runs I've got coming up next year, dressing for appropriate weather is going to be really important. And in my next video, I will tell you all about those. In the meantime, I hope you've enjoyed this little journey through the runs of 2024. They're all on a playlist on the channel called 2024 Runs, I think. So if you've got nothing better to do, get yourself a glass of eggnog and a plate of mince pies and work your way through some interesting stuff around this fair isle of ours. Thanks ever so much for watching all year. I look forward to telling you all about 2025 runs very soon. Ta-ra now.